The metronome is not a tool to help you keep time while you play. Despite what seemingly every teacher says, the least helpful thing you can do with the metronome is to play against it. Why? Because having the metronome clicking away, it doesn't engage any part of you to feel pulse and to feel beat. So let's change that. We need to learn to feel pulse and rhythm, not just have it click away like a robot at us. And there is no better way to do this than actually moving your body. Let's start with a comfortable walking pace, and I invite you to do this with me. So here we go. I am going to walk for a bit, and I'm going to keep my footsteps steady. When you feel like you've internalized that pace in your mind, maybe you can clap with every step. Our inner ear is learning that pace. Then come sit down at the piano and play something at the same pace, one note per step. Okay, great. Now, we used a scale to start with. There are 2 musical excerpts coming later in this video. When you finish that scale, can you stand up and can you continue walking the same pace you just played? And while you're up and walking this time, instead of clapping once per step, can you clap 2 even times per step? When you've internalized that, once again, come back to the piano, keep that same pace, and play a scale in the rhythm that you just clapped. What I've just shown you are scales in quarter notes and then in eighth notes at 76 beats per minute. That tempo is andante. And what does andante translate to? A walking pace. So andante isn't just a number or a range of numbers, but it's a specific feel. And it's something that any of us can feel any time. All we have to do is walk. Let's link this concept, which is movement, back to the metronome and to 2 musical excerpts. We're going to start with the famous Schubert Moment musical in F minor. We know the tempo that we want the piece to be, so for today, let's call it 90 beats per minute. All right, we're going to put 90 on our metronome and listen for a few measures of time. Then we're going to turn off the metronome and see if we've internalized that tempo. Can you clap or tap the tempo that was just given? Can you subdivide it? Meaning, can you clap double the tempo, the rhythm of eighth notes? And if you want to test that further, can you walk at 90 beats per minute? And can you clap the subdivisions at the same time? As you're going through these steps, go back to the metronome and double check that your pace hasn't altered. And when you feel that tempo with your whole body, go ahead and play the excerpt. Notice the metronome is not on while we played. We used it to set the tempo, but we're not playing against it. If you're learning something from this video, please give the video a thumbs up and consider signing up for the Pianist Academy email newsletter. When you sign up, you're going to get a free practicing guide and planner, plus a free piece of intermediate sheet music that I composed. You're going to get a handful of emails from me across that first week, and then I usually keep in touch a few times a month. The link to do that is in the description down below this video and in the first comment. Let's do one more excerpt, but using a couple different techniques. So I've pulled up some lovely Bach Busoni. It's a beautiful, slow transcription. Now let's say we want the eighth notes in this piece to be 50 beats per minute on the metronome. So let's set 50 and take a listen. This time, leave the metronome on and breathe in over 2 beats. And we're going to breathe out over 2 beats. And in and out. And in, out. So instead of a more physical manifestation of the pulse, now we're just doing it with air. and with breathing. Okay, so this time, leave your metronome clicking. You can either leave it on the piano or you can hold it in your hand if you want to. And we're going to add in taking a step for every click while we breathe in for 2, out for 2. You can go ahead and walk while you do this. I'm just going to do it on the bench here. So here's the metronome again. And we step, and step, and step, and step. You could keep going if you want to. Step, and step, right? As we add movement, we're solidifying that internalization of pulse. Now, while you're walking and breathing in time, turn off the metronome and keep going for a few more beats. So let's do it with the beat just a few times. And step, and step. Once more, and step. Now we're going to turn it off. Keep tempo. Step, and step, and step, and step. Okay, now we've done a great job internalizing that pulse. We're going to turn the metronome off, leave it off, come back to the piano, and then we're going to play this excerpt in that same pulse. Such a lovely piece. Again, once we are playing, the metronome isn't on anymore. We used it to set the tempo, but we aren't playing against it. The metronome is best used as a tool to teach us pulse when it's paired with movement and with breath. Movement and breath is fluid. The metronome is not. Movement and breath can change and later can help to show rubato in our playing. The metronome cannot. Let's sum up today with a simple rule. Use a metronome to set your pulse, then use movement or breath away from the piano to internalize the pulse, and then, without the metronome on, play what it is that you want to work on. Playing to the metronome teaches us very little. Moving to the metronome teaches us a lot. That's all for today. I am Charles Szczepanek, and if you want to pair this video about pulse with another to jumpstart your sense of phrase and rubato, I've got the perfect one for you right over here. I'll see you next time.